If summoning Gogeta and Vegito in the Timeless Domain was the Grand Priest's worst mistake, Zeno's worst mistake was casually erasing the future Zamasu timeline without thinking of any of the consequences. The Grand Priest's mistake resulted in the birth of Gogeta, the fusion of Vegito and Gogeta, and a warrior who kickstarted a mighty empire, mighty enough to rival even the great angel race. It's great because the angels finally had rivals against whom they could test the limits of their own abilities with, but it also went against the very foundation of the multiverse. You see, the multiverse has seen races rise and fall time and time again. It has brought in the new and cleansed itself of the old, but the one race, the one empire, the one dynasty that has remained absolute since time's beginning is the angels. They aren't really the ones that are ever supposed to be challenged. I mean, they're just so superior to everyone else. However, what the Omni King did was still quite a bit worse. By erasing a future timeline and finding asylum in another, the future Zeno disrupted the flow of Omni Ki. This resulted in the emergence of a newer, more defined Omni Ki that was born within Majin Buu, but because of Goku's interference, the Omni Ki gets stuck within his soul instead. You guys definitely need to check out our entire God of Destruction Vegeta saga if you haven't already, because it's going to give you complete context on what's going on here. That playlist will be down below in the comments and the description box, but as far as this is concerned, Goku's cursed Omni Ki is now more relevant in the war against the angels than ever. Also, check out the previous parts of What If Gogeta and Vegito Fused if you haven't already, because this series is no longer just about this fusion. It's gotten a lot more serious than that. It's now a race to decide who will rule the next age of the multiverse. Will Gogeta remain unperturbed against the Grand Priest? Or are the OG Timelines versions of Goku and Vegeta gonna give Gogeta the edge he needs to help the Saiyans prevail in this war? Drop a like and let's see what happens. So thanks to Zalama's quick trip to Universe Zero, the Saiyan Beast, the son of Yamoshi, Shishido, was brought all the way to the Saiyan realm together with Goku and Vegeta. The Grand Priest knew what was coming because of his dialogue with Gogeta, but this was beyond his understanding. Shishido and Vegeta aside, why is Goku carrying the void? Care to explain this, Gogeta? The Grand Priest asked, as he was not in a pleasant mood anymore. For once, I'm just as confused as you. Why were these two in Universe Zero? How does that even make sense? Gogeta replies. Goku and Vegeta, on the other hand, just look at each other. I mean, they can't even bring themselves to say anything because they're kind of shocked at what they're looking at too. A few moments ago, they were training with Shishido to take on Shishido's son, but now they're in a multiversal battle between the angels and the Saiyans. I mean, what the hell is going on here on all angles? The version of Vegeta that was fighting against Whis also notices this. He knows that Whis is the only one who can properly explain the entire situation, and so he temporarily pauses their battle and requests Whis to go and explain everything to the actual MCs, I guess you can call them. Meanwhile, the Grand Priest's aura has started increasing exponentially. Before, Gogeta could at least counter him to some extent, but that was no longer possible, it seems. Gogeta can manipulate the laws of an entire universe to his will, but the Grand Priest literally commands infinity, and we cannot forget that. Seeing this absolutely insane surge causes Zalama to act, as he appears right before the Grand Priest, stares him in the face, and says what honestly needed to be said. You do understand what's going on, right? The mediator of the multiverse shouldn't be acting so rashly, he says. However, this was definitely not enough to stop the Grand Priest. Unlike what it seemed to be on the surface, he wasn't acting irrationally at all. Lord Zalama, I'm afraid destruction is the only way to bring balance back to the multiverse. It's not me who is acting rashly, it's honestly Gogeta, and with all due respect, you are the one who has been humoring him so far. Hearing this, Gogeta could no longer stand idly by, as he approached them both and asked, "So what are you planning on destroying, Grand Priest?" With the Grand Priest stating, "Oh, your universe, perhaps the entire Saiyan race in its entirety, I'm not too sure yet. I apologize for the inconvenience, Gogeta, but your race is now an enemy of the multiverse, and that's just how it is." Now, Broly would start to sense a disgusting amount of bloodlust from within the Grand Priest. His instincts start screaming, alerting him of the danger in sight, and there was no choice left but to fight. Broly would eclipse from his current positioning straight to the coordinates where the Grand Priest, Zalama, and Gogeta were having that important discussion, and this would all happen in a single instance. Broly uses his own life force as fuel to unleash the strongest possible attack his singular Saiyan soul was capable of, something called the Cosmic Omega Storm. Broly wasn't scared of death though. He already knew that there was a good chance that they were all gonna die here anyway. What he is scared of is the idea that the Grand Priest has still not even reached his peak yet. The three individuals directly in the path of the attack see it coming. Gogeta would use instant transmission to easily get out of the way. Zalama merely excuses himself because the attack isn't intended for him in the first place, while the Grand Priest sticks around. He observes the Cosmic Omega Storm until he can practically taste it. It's almost touching his nose, but makes it evaporate by merely blinking. It was at this moment that the war finally stopped. Be it the enraged Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, the Angel of Universe 9, Yamoshi, Zycor, or even Kefla, it did not matter. All of the angels and all of the Saiyans just stopped fighting. What was the point? Outside of Gogeta, Broly was by far the strongest amongst the Saiyans, and he fueled an attack using his very own life force, but all it took was a blink from the Grand Priest and poof, it was gone, disappeared, reduced to nothing. Forget measuring up to a fraction of the Grand Priest's power, Broly was too insignificant to even warrant an action. This is when everyone realized this isn't a war. This is one man's playground. Or was it? Because the Grand Priest seemed visibly upset after what just happened, but why? Who was it? Who? He asked while looking in the direction of Goku and Vegeta. Which one of you was it? And he isn't the only one confused at what just happened either. Zalama and Gogeta are also perplexed because they also saw what happened. The confusion leads to havoc as everyone begins to wonder what exactly just went on, since it appears that it wasn't actually the Grand Priest who blinked Broly out of existence. Flashback to a few moments ago. Whis is done explaining the context behind the war to Goku and Vegeta. Shishido has never been outside of Universe Zero, so he doesn't even bother. Whis finishes talking right about the time when the Grand Priest revs up his engine. However, little did he know that this Goku from the main timeline, who was once cursed because of the Omni Key, is no longer Goku. What exists within him is the infinite void made from the inherent darkness of the universe. Yes, it wasn't the Grand Priest who made Broly disappear, it was Omni Goku. Having fought the Grand Priest before, Goku knew that Broly's life force would go to waste, and so his instinctual desire to save Broly allows him to command the void. He absorbs the attack and becomes one with Broly's chaos. It was me, Grand Priest, and I'm not gonna let you walk all over us like the last time, Goku declares. Nonsense, the Grand Priest replies. He summons Kanshi, an angel from Universe Zero, and asks him to explain whatever is wrong with Goku. The explanation takes several minutes, but at the end of it, the Grand Priest would laugh. I see. It all makes sense now. You consumed the Omni Key and then went on to get yourself rejected by the multiverse. That doesn't sound too pleasant to me, Goku, but fortunately looks like you survived somehow and have now harnessed the potential of said curse. Impressive. I'll be straightforward with you, Goku. Absorb the two Omni Kings and become the new ruler of the multiverse. That is your best shot at securing the future of the Saiyan race. Don't be reckless. Let us move towards a better future, the Grand Priest asserts. But this was not the same Goku he was talking to. He continued to experience inconceivable levels of mental and psychological torture even in Universe Zero. Goku knows that he has to live with this pain, and therefore he's always in a state of somewhat controlled anger, I guess you could say. Right now, Goku's instincts are only telling him one thing.
Devour the Grand Priest. Destroy him. Do it.
Gogeta flies over to Vegeta and Shishido and asks the important question. So, can Goku actually defeat this guy? Can he really beat the Grand Priest, he asks. Not a chance. We fought the Grand Priest before and ended up getting banished to Universe Zero in the first place. So I think Kakarot knows this and is just playing it tough right now, Vegeta replies. I agree with Vegeta. Controlling the void sounds good in theory, but it just simply isn't possible. The void is a curse, not a source of energy. I don't even think Kakarot would be able to defeat us right now, Shishido says. So we're toast, aren't we? Gogeta replies. Pretty much, Vegeta adds. Shishido would then go on to ask Gogeta about why he was specifically called here, because Gogeta is pretty much the head honcho of the Saiyans and seems like the strongest amongst them, so what would he be necessary for? So this is when he's finally informed about the angel assigned to Universe 13 and how only Shishido would be able to defeat them. Gogeta would then point right at Zodas, that angel. Shishido would then give him a simple roger that and takes off. As a Saiyan who survived in the darkness of Universe Zero, the Void Realm, for millions of years, his power is uncapped. Though Zodas is no slouch either. Their initial exchange of blows hurts Shishido more than it does the angel, of course. You aren't half bad at all, so don't hold back next time, okay? Let's go all out, Zodas states. Are you sure you don't want me to hold back? Shishido replies, and he was being honestly sincere. If you guys read and caught up with our Universe Zero fan manga, then you know all about Shishido at this point. Do it, Shishido. Go all out. I hate this grim atmosphere. Fill it with pure Saiyan sweat, Vegeta states. Sure thing, buddy, Shishido replies, and this is when he starts unleashing transformation after transformation until Shishido would eventually reach his pinnacle. A state of Saiyan existence that has never even been named before. He is a mythical being outside of Universe Zero and therefore can really only be referred to as such. Cloaked in raging flames, he is the mythical Super Saiyan, and what he's unleashed is an unnamed state. The fun ends here for Zodas, but it would just begin for Shishido. Goku couldn't stop himself from laughing because Shishido's transformation shifts the tide of emotions in the favor of the Saiyans once again. It lights a fire inside of their hearts, and the war would resume. So what do you think of this, Grand Priest? Gogeta asks. Killing all Saiyans will take the fun out of the multiverse. Everything will be so mundane. I guess it's a good thing you won't be here getting bored then, isn't it, Gogeta? You are right though. Convince Goku to be the next Omni King and I'll excuse everything. Goku right now is the embodiment of emptiness. Him taking the throne will be enough to restore balance, the Grand Priest replies. Are you sure you should be talking about this so casually? I mean, the two Omni Kings are here, you know, Vegeta asks. Their sacrifice is a small price to pay. Goku is more interesting than them anyway. I'd rather be his attendant personally, the Grand Priest states. Meanwhile, it would seem that Goku's conscience is having a full-on conversation with Broly's soul. Go all out, Kakarot. I'll keep the chaos in check for you. We will win. For the first time ever, Broly actually finished a complete sentence, even if it was in his, conscious spirit room or whatever. Thanks, Goku says. Just leave everything to me. So he begins to completely let go. Goku allows the void to consume him because now he knows that he's not alone. Broly has his back. Then, just like how the Grand Priest overwhelmed everyone with his insane surge in power, Goku does similarly. He rivals the Grand Priest in terms of inflicting both awe and fear in the hearts of everyone. And to be honest, this is really one of the only avenues where they could match the Grand Priest. If the Grand Priest is the mediator of the multiverse, then Goku is the single most cursed individual in existence. Seeing this, Zodas is left speechless. They thought Gogeta was the final boss. Shishido notices the unpleasant look on their face and declares, "This is only the awakening of the void." Now imagine if he somehow manages to master it. The Grand Priest's reign at the top will be over and we will have a new ruler of universal combat. And it looks like that just might be our guy Goku. Really hope you guys enjoyed part 9 of our What If Gogeta and Vegito Fuse saga that has somehow overlapped into our Universe Zero fan manga. But as always, I really hope you guys are enjoying all of these stories and what ifs. Have a great day, stay safe, hug your loved ones, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.